Oh, look, I've cut off half my face. Oh, Lord. All right. Hi, guys. Let me know if I'm going to have to lower my seat, I think, a little bit. Let me know if you can hear me. Ooh, I'm very blurry. Scoot my desk. I'm sorry. I'm shaking you all over. I need to be closer to the desk, please. There we go. Okay. And we are, in fact, cutting off half of my face. So maybe I have it higher than this. Is that normally what I do? Let me move you. Let me move you up. It is what I normally do, and that's what see, that makes total sense now. Because I felt like, oh, it's low enough that I don't need all of these extra. You're gonna watch how I don't don't mind this bobbly screen over here, okay? Because I normally stack mine up over here, and so I can keep my camera out of my view. But then I was like, oh, but it's working just fine now. But now I realize it's because I was probably too low. So now we just have this here, my my perfectly ordinary phone case. So anyway, happy Wednesday. How are you guys doing? I do have to say, today is a beautiful day outside. It is, oh, it says rain coming in 3 hours. Why you gotta be like that? It is 73 today, so it was like perfect weather. Super, super nice and sunny. Um, oh, Mary, it's the first one you've been able to make in months. And welcome. Thank you for coming. Linda, you're on vacation. That's lovely. I love that for you. Um, oh, a lot of meetings. I don't have a lot of meetings in my job, fortunately. But I do want to say that I noticed, I'm from Cleveland, and I noticed Naomi and Susan kind of chit chatting about the Guardians, which is the baseball team. And Susan said, it doesn't sound right. They're always going to be the Indians. And I cannot stress this enough. My husband agrees with you like 1000%. Everything that had like Chief Wahoo on it or the Indians or whatever, like we like snatched it all up because he is not a fan of the Guardians. Um, so yeah, he would totally agree with you. Okay, so let's recap what we were working on previously. Previously, we were, can you make the video full size? Yes, once we get to the coloring, I will make it full size, so it's just the desk. So here, these are one of these, I don't know, I feel like it was this one that we colored together. Than the last one. This one I colored off screen. And so just for like size perspective, I want to show you guys. Deanna, happy anniversary. So like these are fairly large florals. And any stalk flower, like meaning they're not like on a shrub or a bush, like they just grow like tulips or irises, like they just grow on a stalk, can be challenging to use in design. Not because they're not beautiful, but because it's next to impossible not to create like copy and paste duplicates because of the size. So you can kind of stagger them a little bit, or you can tuck one more behind the other. You could do them like if you were doing like a scene with some grasses or something, you could do like a close-up version of them. Um, but it does make it challenging. So we're going to try something today that is like trying to get a little bit more out of this iris than maybe it's giving. Um, so I did cut some extra leaves and stems. And then we also colored up, I don't think I'll remember which one's which. We did not, I don't think we colored these together. These are the little buds that go with this. So I think originally they go like this, and then the little bud, kind of comes out like that. We're still going to use these little buds. We're just maybe going to switch it up. This is a butterfly I had left over from the video that we did that was not a premiere on Monday. We'll talk about that too. um, Hi, Dawn. Thanks for joining. Oh, Susan, my nail polish match. They do kind of match, don't they? Yeah, this one is like a holographic. It's a good color. So anyway, this is just, I don't think we're using this. This was just in my leftover cup. Um, so I've also pulled out some other items because I told you when I started with the iris, like I really didn't know what my game plan was. So this is the iris here. This is the Lovely Layers iris. And then I also pulled out this. This is the Horizon Slimline Borders. Now, this is in the retirement section. So if you're like, hey, I really like that, I want to pick it up, it's being retired. But what I wanted was the grasses. And Honeybee does have another grass edge die. I just don't own it. So I went ahead and cut this out here. This is the grasses here. So I did try this time to kind of pre-plan a smidge. Don't get used to it. Okay. So then there's that. I also pulled out the Lovely Layers greenery. This has a couple of different, just very general kind of leaves. And what I really wanted was this ivy right here. So I have cut a couple of those. I think 3. I cut 3 of these. So we'll see how many we actually end up using. And then I have the rustic brick wall 3D embossing folder. This one I think came out maybe 2 releases ago. It's a good one. There's another one that's wood too. So these ones at first glance may not seem that exciting, but they can really bring a lot to a card design by supporting the focal point. Why can't I think? Anyway, and not overpowering. So I'm sure you can kind of see where we're going here. I thought it would be cute to have, like the little iris from the grasses in front of the brick wall, and maybe there was some ivy growing on it. Like we're just, I think you're obsessed with the jars, Brandon. I agree, Susan. They are good though, so I understand his obsession. And then the other thing that I picked out was just some sentiments. This is the best of everything, which I like. So it's got to get well. It's got a thinking of you. Everybody loves a general thinking of you because it works when you don't know what else to say. The praying for you every day. And then just more like, thank you for always being there, wishing you the best of everything. Hello, my friend. Nice general. So I pulled out the stamps and dies here because I like the sentiments in this, but I also like the size of the sentiments in this. So, all right, let's go from here and see what we can get started. Well, Hockey, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I I am not the best of painters. Okay. Oh, Deanna, that's so nice. Irises are your mom's favorite flower. My mom's favorite flower is carnations and sweetheart roses. And in fact, that was part of the bouquet that I got her for Mother's Day. All right, so here we're just going to look at the pieces parts first. These are obviously not colored. So I cut out all of the same layers that I would normally for the iris, and I'm going to see if I can modify them to be more of a side view. So this is our base layer, and then this one goes on top, and then this one and this one. So here's the thing. I think that I want to like flip this up so it looks more closed. So I think I don't even think I need this one at all. I think the section that I need to take out is this piece right here, this whole thing here. And then if I flip this upside down where it connects to the stem, I think we could get a nice side view, I think. So, scalpel. No, detail scissors. Okay, here we go. We don't need that piece at all. I need these side pieces here. So let me, hi old lady, I have nothing for you. I don't have anything for you. They can't even see you. They think I'm just talking to no one. Okay, so I'm going to, I wonder if it would be easiest to stack them so I know that the cut is the same. These are the 3 pieces we need. We don't even need these. I just really need the wings. Okay. So let's just, okay, I do need that wing. I do need this wing. This is going to be covered up, but I'm going to keep it, instead of doing what I just did, I'm going to leave it connected. This part I don't need. Oh, you can't, Belinda, you can see both the doggies? Yeah, they're down there chilling. I was gonna leave them outside because Emma just loves to be in the outside. Um, but it said it was gonna rain, so I wouldn't be able to leave to let her back in. So I feel like, and then we'll cut I don't even think I need to cut this because this piece is gonna cover this, right? This piece will cover this, and then this piece will go here. It looks wonky now, but once we put in our stem and flip this one up, by golly, I think that will work. All right, so let's start coloring very quickly. I So the X-Acto knife things, are these beautiful to go an A2 or a 5x7? I'm gonna try for an A2 because that is typically what I do make. Hi Linda. So that is what I'm probably going to go with. If for some reason they are too large, I will make the adjustment for whatever I need to do. Okay, I'm gonna go down to one screen now. So there we go. Now, I'm going to move you again, and I apologize because we'll be closer if I take these out. Yikes. Okay, hold on. Hey there, little guy. Get it together. Nope, this way. There. Okay, so we're a little bit closer this way. Okay. I don't, because we already have our example of kind of what everything is going to look like. I don't think this should be overly complicated. So let me put this here, and we're going to use the same, um, Brandon, I do have to tell you, so he's talking about X-Acto knives. and how he was traumatized by an X-Acto knife. Um, we sometimes kids just gotta learn the hard way. Like, we obviously have a bunch of tools and things in our garage, and our son had been told multiple, multiple times to not like, if you needed to cut something in the garage, not to use the X-Acto knife, to use the scissors, and, of course, as all children do, he thought he knew better, and then he was trying to cut off he had, like, zip tied something to his bike, and he was trying to cut it off, and sure enough, his finger like, when he was cutting it, he slipped and he got himself. He has never used one after that. Like, sometimes just hard lessons get like, sometimes it just is what it is. Hard lessons gotta be learned, unfortunately. Alright, so but I'm scared of anything sharp. I don't know why that is. Um, I'm not I mean, honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't like, I have a phobia about them, like, to the point where it's like I can't even watch other people use them. I get all skeeved out about it. I don't know. Alright, so that's all purple. We do need some yellow in here. If we're even gonna see it, I don't know, but I gotta put it in, just in case. And then these also get a little bit of yellow, this right here, and you will be yellow. Okay. I don't think well, I guess maybe the bottom would be a little bit if it was flipped up. We'll just do, like, the teeniest, tiniest little bit. Okay. Yeah, the boys with the hard lessons, like, unfortunately, there are certain things that he is not understanding when we're telling him, like, "Hey, it's for your own good. It's not because 'cause we're being a mean mommy and daddy. It's genuinely because, we want to make sure that you are safe." I have had to explain to him several times that, sometimes the rules are to keep you safe, sometimes the rules are to try to help you grow into a kind adult, and sometimes the rules are just the way they are because that's the way that we prefer it. You can always make your case for, what you would like to change about the rules, and we will listen. And if it's a rule that's just because that's the way we prefer it, it's up for grabs. But the things like this where it's, these I used, the mid-tone, um, where, it's for safety, like, sometimes, man, sometimes you just gotta learn the hard way, unfortunately. Ooh, yeah, Samantha, that's terrible. Is the play button on your screen? Is the play button on my screen? I I don't think I understand the question. And then we need to do these little indents, okay, and on this side, coming up from down here will be darker, and then there we go. Okay, these get the lighter, the VO6. Okay, so did everybody have a good Mother's Day weekend? Would you guys What'd you do? Anything fun? I obviously was with my mama and my sisters, and we did have to, like, stagger visits so we didn't overwhelm her with, like, our kids and significant others, but everybody did get to see her, which was nice. Oh, and I know several of you have sent cards. I went this morning to my PO box and I was just there's so many. Thank you so much for sending them. So tonight is my night to spend the night. with my mama. So I will be taking them down there, and as long as we're having a good night, I will be sharing her cards with you guys. Sharing her card, sharing. Oh, did the screen just go black for anybody else? That was very weird. Very strange. Very, very strange. Oh, Tracy, you're gonna be a grandma again? That was fun. Okay, so she had your kid over. Oh, I loved Coco. I love that movie. Um, and you made mom a nice dinner. Well, that's good. I hope that your mom is getting better, Hockey. I know that I think it was on the premiere, you had made a comment that mom was struggling again. So no, it was just mine. It could have just been mine. No black screen for anybody else. It absolutely could have just been me. This way. I feel like this needs to be filled in a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, if they were addressed to mom, I did not open them. If they were addressed to me, I did. And I appreciate them. I'm thinking maybe one of these days I'll get on and do a live, and just so I can show everyone the beautiful cards that I got. Um, Christina does like a mail call thing. I don't know if I can be signing up to do all of that, but I would like to share with you guys all the wonderful cards that we received. Oh, you went to go see a play? That's fun. I think, well, no, I think I've really only been did I go to see two? Two or one? I bought my sister's favorite movie is Grease. And when they came to Playhouse Square, I bought her tickets to go see them. And that was a long time ago because I bought those tickets for her 30th birthday. And neither one of us is in our 30s anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, Hockey. That's really hard. That's that. That was. It's kind of like my Graham. Graham declined. For my mom took care of her for 10 years. Um, that's hard. It's a hard thing to be a caregiver. Okay, so here I'm just outlining these so that way we don't see those white edges, and then we'll move on to the next. See what just happened right there? See how that's kind of yellow? It's because I picked it up right off the desk, which is what I always tell you guys not to do. I tell you don't do it because you're gonna pick up the colors, and then I just turned around and did it. Thankfully, it was on a spot that didn't matter. All right, let's try to glue this together. I need a sip. I need a sippy sip. All right, it's hot tea today. I haven't I haven't gotten into the coffee. Okay, so this is my next layer, but I cut it apart. That's why it looks the way it does. Okay. Oh, June, don't worry. You know we'll be here for a while. Come on, little guy. I didn't store them upside down, and that's my own fault. Okay. And now that I'm putting them together, I can see that I should have made this center part yellow. So I will go back and do that after I get my pieces parts, this layer. Bye, Deanna. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, Erica, you're drinking tea too? So I am a good old Lipton tea drinker. Like I don't every once in a while I'll do like a chamomile or something. But I didn't even do that until my therapist recommended it because I was having a hard time falling asleep. So here you can see that part right there is there. It's not dark and it needs to be. So I'm just going to go in and get that. Um, she had recommended chamomile tea because it, is decaf and it helps make you a little, it's like a sleepy time tea. And so I found one that was chamomile and honey, and I like that one a lot. I like that one quite a bit. Um, but then my sister told me the other day, she's always reading up on all those articles, that I guess tea bags are one of the number one causes of like ingesting microplastics. I don't know. I'm not on the up and up and all of that, but I was like, okay, girl, then what are you telling me? I can't drink my tea no more. And she was like, no, you got to get loose leaf. So I guess I got to get loose leaf now. I don't know. She's my older sister, so older sisters know best, right? Okay. All right. So I did miss on both of them. There's like this little itty bitty piece where it's like kind of like folded in the back. And I did miss those when I was doing my shadows. So I'm just going in and filling them in now. And then this will come up like this, and this will go in here, right? Yes. I'm pretty impressed with us right now. Okay, let's color this guy up. See, that's what I said, but apparently it's like the number one cause of this microplastic situation. And then she told me if I had any plastic cutting boards, I had to get rid of those. And honestly, that tracks, right? Um, because if you're cutting out a plastic cutting board, then I could see how you would be picking up some microplastics. But they are convenient to wash. When I was growing up, we had the good old wood cutting boards, and then you'd have to, like, rub them down with, like, lemon and sugar to clean them, and then you could still always taste onion when you were cutting your fruit, like, you know, it is what it is. Oh, you had breakfast sandwich at Dunkin'? I haven't had Dunkin' in so long, Sharon. I do love a Dunkin' sandwich, though. I usually do the, sausage, egg, and cheese. Not the bagel's too much, but, the what is it? Is it a croissant, I think, maybe? Okay. So here, I'm just kind of eyeballing it for I think that'll be good. I think this will be good. Okay. And then I still gotta do, like, the little detail things, the little detail veins. I guess maybe I could have left those in there, those little side pieces. It's fine. Decisions were made. We made our decisions, and now we have to live with it. Oh, Lisa, yeah, you are well, that's because 'cause you're from the South, girl. That's why you a sweet tea girl. I do like sweet tea, though. I can't be too judgy about that. This is the back of the petal, so I don't think that that would have a lot of the kind of, like, deeper color veining like these other ones will, so I'm not gonna put it on there. Okay, and got a white gel pen. So, we're just gonna find, like, the little highlight pieces is what we're doing. And for the most part, that isn't gonna change from these ones over here because it is still the same, shape. Just helps those kinda high points to stand out and add a little detail. Alright. So now let me put my lid on my glue, or it's gonna get janky. All right, so now when we put this together, you know, maybe we have one real tall one, one, maybe one in the middle here, and a shorter one. Or maybe I would like this better. Maybe this one here and this one over here. So something like that, maybe. Hmm. Okay, let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next steps. So we are going to do a little bit of ink blending for our grasses and for our 3D embossing folder. So I am going to use, if I can find where I put it, because remember I took all those out. So now I stacked them on the colors I actually set out to use. Okay, so I'm going to do just totally random. This is not like, we don't have to be our usual type A personalities. We can just embrace the different, the what do we want? The variety. We can just embrace the variety of the color. Oh, I prefer coffee too. But I do drink tea when I typically first get up in the morning, or if I'm having a day where my tummy is maybe a little more sensitive, I definitely do more tea on those days. Okay, so again, nothing crazy. We're just adding a little bit, and then we're gonna get our embossing folder. Don't worry, Cassidy, we're gonna be here for a while. Don't you worry. Okay, so then we're gonna set this in here, and I will run it through now. I'm just gonna set that to the side for now. I am gonna, no, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it because it's just gonna be easier if I just go ahead and then we can do the next level of ink blending. I need to wake you up, Holly. I have my apologies. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so now we have these beautiful bricks. I love them. Super ton of dimension. And then we're going to go back in and do a little bit more ink blending. And then this is going to catch the top bricks, not so much like the mortar in between. And you could even, like, you could really grunge this up. You could do splatters, you could do pastes, you can do a lot of different stuff. Okay. So I'm going to call that good. Because remember, it's just a supporting actor. And then I am going to just take my cloth and just wipe this up. So that way we aren't picking up any. I gotta get it to dry. All right, there we go. So now this is obviously substantially longer than what we need it for. So I'm just gonna trim it. I'm gonna leave it just a little bit longer. So that way if I want to scooch it to the left or the right, I can. Okay. So for this one, we're doing all the greens. Oh, I'm sure that probably is super nice. I don't have any brick on my house, but I always like it on other, even if it's just like an accent, like around the door or something. I always think it's so pretty. All right. But I do have a porch, which I like very much. I do like my porch very much. So I'm not going to completely overtake that twisted citron. I'm just going to take it almost all the way to the top, and I'm sure it's probably hard to see because of the ink blending brush, but you can see the edge is still light. And then for the last little guy, did I bring, I may not have plucked him. Did I not? Did I get sidetracked? I might have. All right. And then he just goes along the edge here. Yeah, on your brick wall, you could do, like moss growing on it. You could do all kinds of things. And then if you guys watch my videos, you already know I do like to go back in and just blend everything one more time. I feel like it like gives you a better blend, but also like really saturates that color. And wrong one, Kelly. There we go. So just this, like just our little grass and this could be the foundation for so many cards. Just these two items. You could do so many things with this. You could even cut it and do like a half brick wall, like a Shawshank Redemption style, that little rock wall. You could do a half and then have blue skies in the front. So there's a lot of options here that you could do. You could cut a window out of it and make it look like it was the side of a house. Um, I love that. Okay. So we're going to set those aside because I have to still do the holly. How would you do moss on an embossed brick panel like that? I don't know that I could do freehand markers to make it. So Sharon, I can maybe tackle that in maybe one of the premieres because I will have to play around with it to see. So let me look into that because I do think it would be interesting. All right. So now here we've got this going on, and then we've got our irises. You guys don't even know how many of these things I cut out of my videos because I'm constantly like checking and double checking um what my things are gonna look like. So this definitely is more of an up close look. Um, Maybe we'll put this one on top. Okay. All right. I don't hate that. I want this one to be over a little further, I think. So, and then we do have some extra leaves. I think that we might be able to get away with, like, this is the ivy, and maybe we do something like this. And maybe we do one kind of coming up this way. But where shall we put our sentiment? This is the question. Okay. Let's look at the sentiment before we move on to committing. Committing to what we're doing. All right. So I was thinking of wishing you the best of everything, but that maybe is a little bit too large. Big hugs. Thank you for always being there. I like that one too, but it might be. Oh, see here, maybe we put it down here. Wishing you the best of everything. I'm here for you. I like the way this one is staggered. Maybe we do the "You Bring a Smile to My Face," or we could just do straight up thinking of you. Hmm, hmm, hmm. All right. I think we can make either one of those work. So let's do the ivy. Okay, hockey. All right. So for the ivy, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. I am just going to go with the simplest way, which is like here, you guys, can you see my Copic graveyard over here? I know you can. This is where all of my markers end up as I'm using them, and they stay that way until the pile is so overrun, it starts falling into my workspace, and then I will clean it up. I know not everybody can work in chaos, but if I didn't work in chaos, I would never look at G20. Okay. All right. So we got a G07, a G19, and a G29. I'm going to hold these up real quick. So I am going to go in and this is with the darkest color, and just kind of fan it out from the middle, not all the way out. This one is clearly turned over, so I'm going to add the shading on this side. This one is the same as the first. Here, like we have to pick what's going to be on top and what's going to be on bottom. I am going to put this one on bottom, so it looks like it's curling behind it. And then these, it'll be a little bit darker in the valley. And more star shapes. This one we're gonna just treat like a little bud of a leaf. Yeah, my workspace is definitely right now, it's very much overcrowded with projects that I need to clean up. Okay. And again, we have shading in the valley. This one's turned over. Another star. And I can add some shading there and there. Okay. And now we're just going to go in and we're going to just extend it out. I will also start filling in some of the like vine, the stem part. Oh, bye, Brandon. I know Lisa and I were talking about this the other day that like my lives are definitely longer than Kelly's were, just because our styles are so different. Please let me know if you would prefer something that was a little bit less labor intensive than what we've been doing. Like you're like, I just would like some simple coloring or some simple ink blending. Because I know that's what kind of what Kelly tended to lean toward. If either like or some other idea that you would be interested in seeing, please don't be shy. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I would rather know what you guys would like to see. And then we have the G07. And this is just, we'll fill in what's left. With these ones, like, because we're coloring dyes, try to make sure that you are getting the edges as well. Otherwise, when you go to put it on your card, you will see that little bit of white peeking through. Oh, it's Sherry, I'm assuming. If not, please correct me. Sherry Kelly Cahoot retired when her husband Chad retired. So that is how you all ended up with me. Oh yeah, a product from the new release. I'd love to use one of those. You guys know I've been putting those butterflies on everything. I cannot stop myself. And honestly, why would I want to? Why would I want to stop myself? They're so pretty. All right. So that is the ivy. We're gonna I'm gonna do less instruction on this one. We're just gonna chit chat right through it. So far nobody has any requests. Is the longer lives okay? Like, is that okay for you guys? Oh, thank you, Lisa. You're so kind. The butterflies are fun, and I love butterflies, so it's hard for me not to wanna just put them all over all the things. I even thought when I was pulling the stuff together for this one, I was like, "Oh, I could do, like, a little yellow butterfly because that's, the complement to purple, and that would look so nice." And then I was like, "No, you put butterflies on everything. Stop yourself. Have some self-control." Oh, good. So everybody's good with the long thank the Lord because I kind of struggle with the shorter ones. Back in the day when I was doing periscopes, this is when Peanut was probably Jelly Bean's age. Um, I would do it after he went to bed, so it was later. It was like after 9 o'clock. And so I would get on there and do it, but then like most of the time it was coloring. Because that's what people wanted to see. So we would just like chat while I colored an image. Where do any of you remember those back in the day, the periscopes? I wonder what even happened to that. Is that even an app anymore? I don't even know. Oh yeah, Linda, those house chores are they sneak up on you with everything going on with my mom and like caring for her. The other day I was at my parents and it was like everybody had left. So it was like 10 o'clock at night. And I was, like, sweeping the floor and mopping it, and then I was cleaning the bathroom, and, my dad was, like, going up to bed, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm cleaning the bathroom." He was like, "Oh, well, I guess, like, do whatever you want," and I was like, Daddy, who do you think who do you think has been providing the clean bathroom for the last, whatever, month and a half? Like, you think little fairies are coming in and doing it? No, your daughters are coming in and doing it. Well, I'm my older sister will do the upstairs bathroom. My middle sister, she'll do the upstairs with the shower and stuff, but neither one of my sisters are willing to are willing to clean toilets. So everybody has their strengths. That's mine because I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Okay, so these are done. We're gonna clean this up and see how it gets on your little fingertips. And don't we all need cleaning fairies? That was one of the things that never in my life uh had like a cleaning service or a cleaning person or any of those things. Like, that was our chores when we were growing up. But my husband and I used to like it was just so stressful to like prep for parties and stuff that we ended up hiring someone to come in just for the party. Um, and then once we realized like how affordable it was, I'm loving this by the way. then we did sign up for that. So as long as I'm working full time and he's working full time, that's what we're doing. Okay. So maybe like you could definitely keep this simpler. You wouldn't have to do all of these. I just think it adds that ivy adds just a little bit more interest. There's a robot for toilet cleaning. Svetlana, say more. I want a robot that will clean my body. Okay. So, okay. I think I like them when this one was kind of more tucked into this one and this little guy was kind of off on his own. Do we want him to maybe be the real tall one and this one to come down a bit? Something like that. I feel like I should move this ivy over though because you cannot see it. Let's try a different angle. Yes, a dragon, Denise, a dragonfly is a great addition. All right, so what do we decide? We decided this one was going to be a little bit of a shorter guy. And then our side view is going to go like this. And you're going to be, no, you're going to be really tall, exceptionally tall. Okay. And then, where's my tweezers? I have some of that like peeking out. Okay. All right. I feel like that's a little busier than I would normally do, but I'm not mad at it. Oh, we have those little, maybe that's, I forgot about these little guys. Maybe we could fill in with some of these littler ones. Something up there maybe to fill that in. And then down here is a wee bit empty, but we know that we're going to put the sentiment there. It's so funny. I'm going to adjust this camera. I apologize. Um, I am I'm kind of, do I need this ivy? I think it adds a little bit of something, but it's also kind of busy. I guess every once in a while a busier card is okay. You guys know I don't do busy too often. But anyway, what I was gonna say is I'm spoiled by the camera because normally I can look up and have like a bird's eye view of my whole card. Um, this is a little bit more challenging because my phone is there, so I can't see it. Um, yeah, so I think maybe we will color in the extra leaves just to throw them in there. Um, I think what I'm gonna do is stamp the sentiment, and I think I'm just gonna do it on white and then ink blend the bottom. You guys know how to make me feel better. And you bring a smile to my. Okay. Thank you for always being there. Hmm. Okay. We're gonna scoot this over. Hey, hey now. All right. And we're gonna stamp the sentiment. Oh, I got like this is how messy I am. I'm trying to reach for my Misty to stamp my sentiment, and I had colored pencils stacked on top of it. Okay, so let's do this. I do have a scrap piece that I die cut out of. Where did I put that? There it is. Okay. 'Cause you guys know I'm cheap. I'm definitely not, wasting another piece of cardstock. Mm, okay, let's try. We're gonna do maybe a couple, and then whatever we don't use, we can always just throw into the, um we can just throw into the package. Okay, let's try this one too. Alright. I think I am going to stamp them in, like, a darker purple because I don't wanna go black, um, but I think I could do, like, a dark purple or a dark green. Oh, Susan, you got right. So we keep, for the most part, Susan's talking about how she was trying to keep a couple of raccoons out of cat food. Um, we have, um, we usually keep the dog food inside the house, but every once in a while it does get stored in the garage if, I'm going to use grape juice from Hero Arts. If the container in the house isn't empty, it'll stay in the garage. And my husband went out there one night for, or no, was it? I think the first one was actually me. I went out there for something, and there was a raccoon in our garage. And as soon as I went out, it went scurrying away. And then there was another time that he went out, but both times he had ripped open the side of the dog food bag and was like getting all of the little nibbles out of the dog food. This I did not put good pressure on. So yeah, he just came right up inside our garage and was hanging out there. Let me make sure I got good pressure all over this time. There we go. That's so much better. Okay. Now, dies, dies, dies. I need you to come out of your home. Okay. I need you. I need you. And I need you. Honeybee makes it so easy, guys. So easy to find them. Okay, wishing you the best of everything. I do like that one. There's a lot of good sentiment. It's just going to be about what's the best fit. No, the garage door was open. Um, Armadillos? Never seen an armadillo in real life. See, I'm with Hockey. She's never seen one either, except at a zoo. We do have opossums up here. And so funny. My sister, because my mom sleeps a lot, but sometimes you'll be in the middle of a conversation with her and she'll just close her eyes. And so my sister was like, "Oh, she's playing possum," and my mom totally called her out. She like, right away, she was like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "Oh Lord, she done caught you. You can't be saying stuff like that. Mama get you." All right. Okay, I'm gonna die cut these real quick. Emma is my young lady, so she still can jump up on the beds and stuff. Um, so she has abandoned us and she has gone to sleep in Peanut's room on the bed because I keep my bedroom door shut for the most part. But my old lady, she always wants to be where I am, and she has a much harder time jumping up onto things nowadays since she is 14. So she's still hanging out in here. But she always lays, I have my die cutting machine on the floor, and she always lays right by where it's at. So inevitably, like I try to scoot it over so I don't bump her, but sometimes I don't give it enough room, and sometimes I still get her bumped. Oh, you got wild turkeys? I never seen a wild turkey in real life. Like not just, in the wild per se. All right. So let's look at this and see which one we like. Don't be rude about it now. Just get over here. And then we're gonna do this down here. And we decided those. Did we lose a little guy? There's gonna be a little guy up there. We know that. Okay. So now I feel meh about that. The best of it. I like this one better. And then this one is a little bit more stacked. I think I like this one. I do think I like this one. I like this one too. Okay, let's start gluing. Let's commit to this. Okay. They're just, Lisa, they're just out there free, just walking around. That's crazy. Alright, so I'm going to just lay him here because I need some of these behind and some in front. So I can't glue them down quite yet. But I can do the sentiment set I am using is called Best of Everything. It is a little bit of an older set, but it is still a good one. Glue, glue, glue. I feel like this card is a little bit busier than I would normally make, but I also think sometimes it's good to get out of your comfort zone. That's where the learning goes on. All right, so now hold my grass in place and I'm gonna go up like that. Okay. And this one, hmm, just hear me out here for 1 second. All right, so we did that. I only did these two. Would that be better? Mm, do. So all of this talking to myself that I'm doing, I have to admit that I do even when you guys are not here. Like I talk to myself. I talk to myself about my cards. And then one up here, I think is what we talked about. And then do I like that? Do I like that better than all three of them? And then the sentiment would go over here. Maybe. Maybe. I grab. So these are my extra leaves. So I could put like one in here to help fill this in a bit. Where is the, here it is. Okay, let's put this on this. We'll get an extra high leaf, right? And then we can add a smaller one down here to help fill that in. And then the sentiment, maybe put that little guy in there somewhere. Okay, I think I like it better with the two. I think I like it better with the two. Okay. But you know what that means? I can either hang on to this or I could do a completely different card. Because it's already done. So I think we're gonna go with just the two. It makes the most sense, I think. Sometimes I think when we have spent the time like coloring the things, we feel the need to force it, even if it's not necessarily the one that we like the most. Um, I'm gonna back that up a little bit. I'll have to trim off the extra, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. Pardon. Thank you. Okay. And just gonna trim these little guys off. Okay. Now it looks like our ivy is creepy crawly growing right up the page. We do need to color these extra leaves right quick though. That should not take very long because there's just not a lot of them. Okay. Finding the markers is going to be the challenging part, guys. All right, here we go. I'm going to do one of them like this, just for a different kind of look. And then this. And then we could also go in and do some like Copic markers on the grass if we wanted, just to add some texture. But I will see if that's necessary by the time we get all of these other things done. We got a lot going on. Right. Well, Hockey, you have to remember that when I'm coloring so fast, like I've already colored like 6 of these things. So it's easy. You get faster every time you do it. Okay. You guys were talking about turkeys. So Caitlin today, when I was taking her to daycare, by her daycare, there's like some ponds and there's geese. And she last week before last, she went to the petting zoo with um her grandparents, with Eric's parents, and they also had geese there. And apparently, the way that it was explained to them, I said, "Oh, look at the geese." And she goes, "Goose are not friendly." And I started cracking up like, "Hockey, exactly, you just said it, geese are mean." Yeah, she was like, "Goose are not friendly." Like somebody at either her grandmother or somebody else said to her, like, "Girl, don't be going over there. They're they're mean-spirited. Like, they are not for you, ma'am." Okay, so now we're gonna do the grass. Oh, yeah, we're not feeding anything, to be honest. I'm just trying to keep it real with y'all. We're not feeding anything in our house except the children. Okay, so that's that. Trim this off now. Okay, we got some grasses I do like. I am going to have to trim this little guy. Like, I don't know, here maybe? Yeah, that seems good. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of a darker. There we go. Okay, that way it's all matchy matchy. I do need to put this little guy on this one though. Yeah, I do think that the reason that I don't think they're just mean, like God didn't just make them mean for no reason. Like I do think that they are hi Rochelle. Like I do think genuinely they are just trying to protect their young. So, but sometimes, because they're so cute and adorable, um, people don't realize that they don't want to be your friend. They want to just raise they want to just raise their babies on their own without any of your input. The movie with the Amish family where the goose loved the mother, Friendly Persuade. I didn't even know that was a movie. And I've been to Amish country several times. We have a lot of Amish communities in Ohio. Okay, so now we're gonna go here for this one. And then add our little bud. And some extra leaves, maybe like this. My brother had a goose who didn't have babies and she was still mean. Oh Lord. Goose are not friendly. Gonna bend you out here a little bit like that. All right, now let's see how we're looking. Okay, I'm not mad about that, but I do think that this little guy probably needs to have a home. Maybe this way. Yeah, I think that's probably good. Okay. Will I be able? I don't know if I'll be able to tuck it up under or not. Close enough for government work. Okay, so that's that. I am gonna do some grasses because I feel like it's gonna help this blend in a little bit more. So with the grasses, we're just barely letting our marker touch the paper, and then we are quickly lifting. I find it easier to flick away from myself, but if you find it easier to flick towards yourself, also fine. And I try to vary my strokes. Do you ever watch true crime? Yes. Yes. Aren't you all watching true crime? I just told my mom's nurse the other day. She was like, "Oh, I've never seen this show before. What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a murdery show." And she was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah, sometimes I do feel I do feel a little bit bad for mom because I'll fall asleep with the TV on, and then she'll wake up and it'll be like, and then he dismembered her body and buried it in the garden." But it's not the nicest thing. It's not the nicest thing to wake up to, but I do enjoy a true crime. Um, what if you can't flick it all? Belinda, yes, you gotta just practice, girl. You gotta just practice, practice, practice. So this one really isn't adding too much of anything because it's pretty close to the background. It's really just helping those colors blend so that we have that little bit of created texture. So, and then like, oh, Sharon, that's true. I used to work with a guy who, like, cause we worked afternoon shift, and when, um, the news would come on, he would be like, "Here's our daily dose of depression." Like, no doubt. That is absolute truth. All right. So I think you guys are probably going to think I'm a little bit crazy, but I do think I'm going to add a little bit of ink blending down here at the bottom to have it blend in a little bit more with the grass so it's not quite as stark. Let's try that and see. I do like that a little bit better. Okay. So now, so I'll probably just like throw together maybe another simpler kind of card with this and maybe share it when I share the photos of this one because I already have a sentiment and a flower colored. So really, I would just have to find some other items. So I I don't think I'm going to pop this up. I think I'm going to adhere it flat because we already have a lot of texture going on there. So there's that. Praying for you every day. I like that. Um, oh, butterflies. Oh, I have a little purple butterfly I could put up here. But this is one from my set that I illustrated. This is not a die, but a little butterfly up there would be cute. It would be cute. Okay. So we'll definitely be adding some sparkle because most of my cards don't get out without any sparkle. So I think I'm also gonna do. Are you as sparkly as you could be? Let's make sure we're generous. Okay. So now we can see our shimmers in the light. This one I have several. I'll show them all to you. So I like the Zig Wink of Stella Clear. I also have the Nuvo Aqua Shimmer Glitter Gloss. That one works well. And the one I just use is this one from scrapbook.com, which also works wonderfully. So whichever one you makes you happy. I think the scrapbook.com one is usually a little bit cheaper just because they have so many sales on their card making stuff. All right, so let me grab these rhinestones because I feel like they need them. And I think we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 1, 2. Okay, we'll go with that. Oh, I dropped my glue lid. Well, it will have to be unearthed after we're done. So there's that, and then a little one down here, and then a medium, and a little. Okay, there. I think she's a very pretty girl. All right. Okay, I am going to pull me back up here. Don't mind my phone, because remember, we needed that for, and I do think that we need to pick a winner. Um, so I will see. Thank you guys so much. I will see if Elisa is still hanging out in here. If she is, I will. Oh, there it is right there. Lisa. Our winner is Sherry Danielson. Congratulations to you. And you will send your email to, oh, there it is, customer care at honeybeestamps.com to claim your gift card. I will, of course, take some photos of this. I'm also going to do something with this, I think. And then I will share them over on the Facebook group if you would like to see some still shots. Those are sometimes a little bit easier than in the video to show you. But I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I always appreciate your time. I know my lives are a little bit on the longer side, but I am excited for next week because we'll be starting with new products since we finished this one. So, as always, if you have questions, don't forget, like, you can access in the Facebook group or you can send me a message, and I will do my best to try to answer your questions. Or if you have, um, anything that you're like, oh, I didn't mention this, but I wanted you to do XYZ, don't like, just let us know. Thank you guys so much for your prayers for my mama. I do appreciate that. Um, And I will catch you guys next Wednesday on the next live. Okay? All right. I will see you then. Bye.